Now listening to The Joint Committee.
The Joint Committee Sessions. I am one of your co-hosts, Lupino, along with East Coast and Mr. Bonds on a secret mission at the moment. So we brought in Eternal to kind of like, fill in for the spy and also talk to him about some projects that he's working on as well, which is going to be pretty dope because none of this is going to stop us. We just still got to continue planning with our stuff. We got to continue with, business is going to end up happening. So to stop and not restart is just kind of like in my opinion, it's not the greatest idea because it's gonna come back. But yeah.
Wait,
so yeah,
what?
I'm high as fuck.
What'd you say?
What's up, man?
What's coming back and going away?
The world, I guess. Like
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah.
like not all of it, of course, but just in a lot of it. Everything's gonna get back to a certain point. People will be able to go back out and meet in groups again and shit like that. I mean, you're just gonna see more. You're gonna see a little bit more what you see accustomed to like overseas. That's it. But everything will get back to relative normal. I don't like how they are pushing this whole cashless like thing though. That's too much of a conspiracy for me. Like, yo, fuck you, take my cash.
Well, that's definitely coming at some point.
They're already trying to do a lot of it, yo. They're literally refusing to take cash. I'm like, what do you mean you're not gonna take my cash?
Yeah, I can see that.
It's the perfect storm for them to get rid of it, man. You got everyone on the fence of fear, and you can easily, just like on 9/11, man, they could have said anything, and we were like, yeah, man, fucking get them. Go bomb those motherfuckers. It's the same thing. They could be like, yeah, that money's dirty, bro. You got fucking virus all over that shit. We can't clean that virus off the paper. We can't test it.
Yeah, you could just spray it put it in a bag, and then spray it with Lysol and just tie the bag.
Did you see Netta? Netta had coronavirus employees. They're a dispensary in Mass.
Yeah, I saw the article.
So I wonder what that's going to lead to, if anything. Are they going to start having to do corona tests on plants?
Like on samples? Like on live plants in like the actual grow room that people are being exposed to, or you mean like the finished product for the consumer? Do you think they're gonna have like some kind of stipulation to hold it back? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, man.
No, it's true though. It is interesting because it's like everybody's like, oh, when you get your packages delivered, make sure you keep them outside for a few days. Don't bring them in your house right away. And it's like, it's crazy.
Craziness.
It's craziness. And then it's like, all right, I'm still going to go get my takeout or have my Grubhub delivery come through and bring me my food. It's like, what?
Yo, it's so, I just seen like some little short video, like this woman with gloves, like she, right? But right before she ended up, like that, she ended up taking off her thing and then walking to the house and like, you already touch your face, you touch mad shit. It's already for you, corona, like that. Like so I was with my mom. I was the other day, and she needed to run some errands, so I took her to Walmart and stuff like that. And I don't know if you guys have gone out, but they started putting down like tape or lines like every 6 feet, so everybody can keep their distance, right? So me and my mom are standing a little closer to like where the next one's in line, and this lady comes, and she's like, oh, excuse me, it has to be here at this line. I said, oh shit, I thought there was like, all right, no problem, whatever like that. But she proceeds to like stand like right next to us and actually load up our hand cart. I mean, her like that with a bottle of waters, right? A whole bunch of bottles like that. And she stood there for like a good like a minute because she took all of them, right? So I'm like, this whole thing about everybody, social distancing, and actually like overdoing with a lot of stuff. But the CDC says a lot of shit. And now people are starting to follow it. So when she walked away, I was like, they got a filters to clean water now, so you can use less or bottles of water. She's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, she didn't care. Like, I was like, okay, I guess you just don't get it. Like, you dumbass. Like, what are you doing? Then you telling me about my fucking 6 feet.
All I know is that you hear all these people for a lot of years talk about how fucking rebellious they are, but look at how obedient the world is, dude. Look at how obedient everyone is. But yes, sir, right inside.
He said right inside.
They're smart.
Well, so far, I have an event for May 2nd, right?
Cancel it, brother.
Hear me out. People are going to go crazy, right? For whatever first event ends up actually coming out, because everybody's hungry just to
get out. Yeah.
Honestly, like it's just in our natural nature to, for whatever reason, once in a while, even if it ends up being once a year, twice a year, whatever the fuck, or every weekend, we like, that
social gathering. Yeah, absolutely.
Even if it ends up being for a short period of time, we get that fix, So this whole social distance thing is a bigger psychological effect than most people actually think. So I'm waiting another 2 weeks to see how the community, everybody ends up developing, right? And then I'll decide if I want to actually, how much if I'm gonna push it back. And I'm only gonna push it back 2 weeks. That's it. Because if it ends up being the quarantine holding up to what it is now, April 30th or whatever the fuck, then obviously 2 weeks later, I'll be able to still have my event with only 2 week delay. I already talked to the venue. The venue's already on board with everything. So I don't really have a problem, but I really want to make sure that I end up having one of those events like that, because for this specific event, it's all about the clones, not all about, but mainly about the clones outdoors. So as far as thinking about Mother Nature and all that stuff, whatever like that, and everybody like that. And if I had to hand out everybody have masks, and so what? Or I even thought about it as well. If they say they only allow 50 people to gather, well, I could only end up letting 50 people at a time, and I'll time slot it from 12 to 1. You 50 are going in. From 12 to 2, you 50 are going in, and I'll limit it just like that. It's not difficult to do, to be honest with you. But no, I'm definitely not canceling. Fuck no. I'm just waiting until this whole quarantine social ban, which technically they can't really enforce that. That whole thing, as far as you were saying, it's all voluntary. This is all taking precautions. We're urging you to stay home. It's not martial law. They can't stop you from going outside.
Yeah, they're arresting people from not following their suggestions.
Yeah, and it ends up being detained. You take it to court, blah, blah, blah. You can't stop me. You putting people in danger. So no, I wasn't, because if I didn't have a coronavirus, I put that. That's bullshit. This whole thing is a lot of paranoia and panic. And once you end up taking something like that to court, it doesn't have any legs to stand on. What the governors are really skirting with is the trimming of the Constitution and the rights of the people. Once it goes to court, what's happening now on the laws that are being broken and stretching like that. This is going to be books, fucking journals, and cases for 20, 30 years from now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you still have to deal with it at the time.
Correct. It's an inconvenience at the time, so on and so forth. But who knows? You might end up being that one case because you ended up going outside for a normal, just a night walk, right? Just to enjoy, I don't know, the night air, look at the stars, whatever the fuck, right? And you get arrested for something like that. You
Trust me, I think it's.
I don't give a fuck. That's all right. Give me a fucking ticket.
I mean, the whole concept is bullshit. They're like, oh, there's a curfew. What, the virus doesn't travel at night?
It's not a curfew. The curfew ends up being for suggested businesses. They can control the businesses. It's not. But people think it's for them. There just isn't shit to do.
There's people getting pulled over in California for being out past curfew, getting $500 tickets.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
and that's just a negative a negative like reaction for you doing something. It's only $500 though.
But
if you
just,
really like that, but the common person is really expensive and punishable, right?
But just here's the thing. This is just starting. Okay, so each day.
That's what there's. But is it?
No. I'm saying their grab at everything they're taking is just starting. Day by day, they're asking for more and more, and no matter what we do, it's not enough. Oh, we had to pull out those traffic cam statistics, and we're seeing it way too many cars. So guess what? Now there's a curfew. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But every day it's more and more, and no matter what, since we're all inside, we can't even fact check these people to say that they're not even.
Yeah, because everybody's cooped up.
Yeah. Too fast. Yeah, exactly.
So you're relying on the people that are the biggest liars, known liars in the world, to now be telling us the truth because we're all stuck in our house.
Well, voluntarily, we just don't want to go out, so we don't have to deal with the inconvenience of being ticketed,
but even
process, and all that bullshit. That's why we just don't want
voluntarily. But there's nothing. They've shut everything down.
Yeah, you can't even do anything. Yeah.
I know
that even like cut their hours down. Like, even if you wanted to go like to Walmart and grab something, they close early. Like everything closes at like 6, 7 o'clock. It's nuts. It's like Sunday all day.
Sunday all day.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It's true though. It's crazy how they can control the businesses like that. But
this shit is a cover up. This is a cover up for a failing economy that was about to explode.
Right? Let's say the tests are fake. They're just injecting people and killing them and shit. Sometimes, it takes a tragedy. They say war is a strange, economic fucking phenomenon. It's fucking good for governments. Well, if you win anyway.
Well, this government's currency is so pathetic. We've been trying to do everything we can to sustain it. We've been trying to start wars. We can't do it. No one wants to fucking fight with us. So this is the next best thing, man. Russia really put this on us about starting 6 months ago.
I think they just let us go. They put capitalism on fucking like that. Like, think about it. All the people that have been talking about the coronavirus almost like that has been some CEO, some company. What the fuck are they talking about? Like, for real, it's all like it's a fucking, it's a capitalist parade. That's what ends up eating us alive. The Russians let us fucking go.
What's our money backed off of? It used to be gold. It used to
nothing now, right?
Now it's a petrodollar.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't say nothing, but
yeah. So our currency's value is dependent on the price of oil because we've forced the entire world to trade under U.S. dollars. So if the price of oil is high, our currency remains stable.
Not my I fucking got crypto.
Russia's been outproducing OPEC for a while now, and that's what this situation's about.
Who's OPEC?
OPEC is it's like the UN of oil. They're the main foundation that controls the trading of oil. They set the pricing for oil.
Okay, so their days are numbered then.
Well, Russia's outproducing them and is setting their barrel prices at 50% margin. So what that does is that destabilizes our currency.
I know.
So they've seen this coming, and that's why all those CEOs jumped out because they saw this. They knew this was coming, and this coronavirus is a mask to cover the economy that was about to explode in their face because our currency has been devalued over the last several months.
All right.
All right, what?
I don't know. I don't really, honestly, like, I've checked out about a lot of this shit, yo. It's just so much of the same information, a lot of this affecting like that, and it's crazy. It's like the mind's almost like checked off about it, like checked out about it. It's just.
That's fine, but I'm just telling you the reality. They'll kill
I
millions of people
no, I
for
believe.
oil.
I'm
So
not calling.
you don't think that they would pull some bullshit like this? I mean, it's easy.
Come on, you know, but dude, look at the crazy shit that's happening now. They look. The media did the one number thing, and I'll never stop saying this. Honestly, the media did the one thing you're not supposed to do. Yell fire in the theater. Out of all fucking people, that's the ones that yell fired in the theater.
This virus will go away as soon as OPEC reestablishes their surplus, because guess what? The whole world is sitting home not using gasoline, not using oil, not using anything. Do you know how much oil surplus?
Dropping. I haven't put gas in like at least a week and a half.
But that's how you rebuild a surplus in no time. You can outproduce Russia 5 years worth of oil if you make the whole world sit down for 3 months. So whenever they feel that sustained number is reached to get that surplus back up to keep our currency stable, that's when this will all go away. That's when the magic fucking vaccine will be found, and it'll all go away.
How about the environment? I mean, the environment is getting pretty good about this, right? Like it's getting a break.
I mean,
yeah, like they were saying how like in Italy or whatever they have like more marine life coming closer to the docks and the shores and stuff. I seen something about that. I don't know how accurate it is, but
it makes sense. We're noisy, fucking, disturbing environment type of animals.
yeah, I guess they were saying too that like the water you can actually like see to the bottom, where before it was all like murky, you couldn't like see through the water. I don't know.
That sounds beautiful.
I've been nice and tranquil.
I go out every day. I go somewhere. There's very little people out there, so you're not really interacting with anybody. Really, it's weird. It's like you said, it's almost like it's Sunday every day.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
I suggest it. Go out there, man. It's cool as shit, to be honest with you, because you're just not really dealing with. Like, you go to the store, the lines. There's never a line. Like, 2 people, but it's like 12 feet apart from each other. It's fucking hilarious to see. Just like the weird, just if you want like that, put some fucking gloves on, just like that. But I got a little, fucking like mask and shit, yo. I'm so paranoid about it, but it's not stopping me from going now.
Do what you have to do, yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
This economy is fucked.
It's just so, but I'm actually loving the fact that the world just feels like calm, right? Outside, like, because everybody's indoors, right? So you outside, everything's like, you don't feel like it's an odd thing to not feel like tension. Like sometimes you might step out in the street and you feel that like, all right, it's a hot summer night, like something might be going down tonight, like I can like it. You feel already like that. Like every day out there right now is just calm and nothing. It's just like quietness. It's pretty dope.
That's because everyone's in their house fucking not calm.
Not calm.
I'm like, yo, this is so beautiful. I say,
man.
doing 3 things. Playing video games, fucking a lot of phone shit, smoking weed, and fucking.
If you guys, if anyone out there has been doing like conference calls, it has been the worst, man. The whole fucking world is now using all those conference call apps, and you can't even get in, man. It takes like 20 minutes to get into a fucking line.
Yep. Or the internet, or watching Netflix or anything like that. It's really pushing all the systems as far as home systems. That's actually pretty cool. So it's gonna force tech to actually
to upgrade their infrastructure. Hell yeah.
And you guys know? Let's see. Like, you guys know the 2 industries that actually push the tech industry. There's only 2.
Like to help pursue it further. What?
And the porn.
Porn?
Yes.
To what? With the 4K videos and try to get more for the VR thing and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like porn and video games actually are the reasons that push technology and push, because you want to play a video game that looks doper, right? at you,
Yeah, absolutely. They're always looking to improve.
them titties that are just like bang, like right, and it just keeps pushing. And what happens is that too that we're just humans, so we just like to do our thing. So you get a higher push, right? I'm sure that a lot of people are watching a lot of porn at home now because there's just very little to do. Um, it's almost like being in jail. Like you're watching TV, trying to keep yourself entertained. You eating, you're taking a shower, you maybe doing some push-ups. You fucking or jerking off if you can. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you do it all over again.
Yeah, you're stuck doing the same thing.
So playing the video games, right? Because everybody's playing live video games. Everybody's doing tournaments. Well, not me. And of course, there's porn. Everybody's watching porn because they're just bored as fuck, and you can only watch so much The Tiger King before this shit just gets stupid.
The Tiger King.
I saw that shit.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
What a nutcase.
It was 8 episodes, right? That we'll never get back in our time.
You feel like,
I mean,
I'm watching this, but I can't stop.
Yeah, right?
It's like, people like that exist, but to actually have the privilege of having footage of them is just, you can't
Oh
stop
my God.
watching people that are that fucking crazy.
Sounds so far-fetched, but it's like...
I know. Because you could explain that to me and I wouldn't get it. You know what I mean? But to see it, you go, Jesus fucking Christ.
Look at this shit show.
Wow.
But he was actually probably making money, man. He was sustaining for how long,
But that's just rotten, bro. That shit is horrible.
Oh, yeah, no, terrible. But at the same time, it's like kind of amazing how people actually bought into that. It's like his backyard. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's weird.
He had making money. He had a staff. He had to feed all those fucking tigers. That's a lot.
All those tigers, yeah.
A lot of food. That's a lot of money.
The Walmart meat. The pizza.
That is disgusting.
The fucking Walmart pizza. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Like Mother Nature is like really like it's like really.
Well, you ain't that straight.
Oh my God. That is funny.
It's fucking nuts.
That's been so I've been interested into like what people have been like gravitating to as far as like what their habits are at home, the things that are buying into. I'm looking at all these data points and that whole tiger thing and this fucking so crazy, yo. It's it caught me too. I was like, fuck it. Netflix is recommended because everybody's watching it for some stupid.
Yeah, it was
reason.
number one. I think it still is.
Everyone loves a good fucking train wreck. It's it's classic human mentality. I mean, you can't not watch shit like that.
You cannot. You can, and then you cannot unwatch it too.
But you don't have to unwatch it because you get to laugh about it. You know what I mean? That shit is pure comedy.
Yeah, literally.
I've seen some shit. I've seen some shit that just that because everybody has nothing but time, so people are posting some wild stuff. I'm starting to see a lot of like jumpers. I'm starting to see fucking like porn, like on regular Facebook. Like it's so much of it's being thrown up for so long. I mean that's putting so much thing on the system that the system can't keep up. So it's talking about like something like a jumper. It was still up for like 2 days. Like nobody flagged it. Like it was like, and you heard like, BANG! It was serious.
How long do you think this goes on before disobedience starts to become a problem?
Oh, that's 3 weeks with money.
What?
3 weeks, no money. Because they're talking in my state alone, right? In Connecticut, talking about the unemployment checks could be delayed as much as 5 weeks.
Yeah, I heard some states their unemployment was like wicked backed up and behind.
And then the government said in some cases that people's checks might even take up to 20 weeks.
Holy shit.
That $1,200, everybody's like, yo, I need that shit like tomorrow, blah, blah, yo. What's going to happen now is people going to have to start figuring out how to get, under the table money, doing construction or handyman work.
Side jobs, yep.
Anything and everything. That's what's going to end up like that. And that's actually going to end up putting a lot
What if
more.
they don't let you work?
There's certain, yo, you know what? People are starting like to say, fuck it. I'm going to open until they tell me to close.
That's what I mean. Now, this is what I'm talking about. When's the disobedience start to become
It's already
a problem?
started. They're already started.
A problem where they have to now step up their enforcement. Do you see where I'm going? This is how you go.
I give it 3 weeks. I give it 3 weeks, or I give it to somebody that gets shot that wasn't get shot, or I give it, power going out, or I don't know, the stock market crashing. I mean, take your guess. Like at this point, anything. Figure like any movie scenario you might think it's possible. Just so your guess is as good as mine. But I give it like 3 weeks before somebody gets highly upset. 3 weeks.
Well, how long? We've already been like this, almost going on 3 weeks now, right?
Right. So
to a degree,
another 3 weeks is a good 6 weeks. Yeah, now you're over a month.
Yeah.
So now it's like, this isn't a long weekend anymore. This isn't like a snow in.
No, this isn't like an extra spring break over here. No.
No, now it's turning into like a winter, and it's not just a snowed in weekend. So, people's patience are going to start to get pushed, especially people that are, not seeing their parents who are old or not going to church. Like that's going to start to become a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Easter's coming. Religious people in Easter, like you're keeping them separated. People are not going to be obedient. It's going to break eventually. And then they're going to, like I said, man, and they know that. And that's how you get to ease in with that extra force and enforcement before you know it.
Right? Out of all the citizens in the United States, the first ones to start breaking the stay at home and don't gather a massive amount of people like that are going to be the religious people.
Have you seen Louisiana?
Yeah, well, I believe you.
They're not.
100%. I agree with you. They're going to be the first ones, and when come Easter, to break this rule. 100%. I completely agree with you.
Well, they already did it in Louisiana, man. This past weekend, 1,700 people showed up for a gathering, and strictly like
this shit is real. It is what it is. Who knows how many people ended up getting infected from those two, from that netta. If they ended up being people, that were interacting with other people or not, or were there in the back office, like, because because netta is also, they were a dispensary and ended up becoming one of the first two recreational shops. So they've already had a high already like in and out because they're the only ones on towards the other side of the state.
Yep.
So they're already like, so once they said that they couldn't have the recreational shops, they just went under back on their dispensary
side. Medical, yeah.
That's it. They were like, oh, all right, no doubt. They just flipped the sign. All this, bullshit is what I call it. And I'm seeing this, right? Because this is what's pointing out too about like, how government's supposed to be and supposed to act in a certain way like that. And this is now my proof and data points when I'm able to actually, when I'm debating something with legislators and shit like that. Well, that's not true because once it actually happened, just fresh, not no like thing that happened like 5 years ago that you take into consideration, but like 2 weeks ago, and this is what happened. Don't tell me that that's not what they're trying to plan as far as like the lateral movement, because they're talking about in certain parts that they're buying too much into like, you're only supposed to buy, like if you're a cultivator, you could only end up buying possibly like one more, either like a delivery or a retail or something, or nursing, whatever the fuck, right? So now because the ones that having more money toward the beginning are starting to like break the rules and nobody's saying shit. That's what that's what I'm gathering from a lot of this stuff too. So if you can get in it, man, get in it and carve out your piece wherever you can do it. To be honest with you, because fighting so much money, you know what I'm saying? Like the biggest thing you can anybody end up make sure that anybody can grow and at least be able to sell their overages to like a retail shop or a dispensary, as long as obviously proper testing and all that stuff. That's what every state should have. Like I knew when Rhode Island did the first like, medical like that, everybody was to be able to sell their overages to the um, the dispensaries, and now they don't do that shit.
Yeah, that
But
was way back when.
way back when, you know what I'm saying? But that was the, and now there are states that do that now. The other states that do that, I forgot which ones, but kind of good, these fucking rules.
Michigan's one of them, right? Like you said,
Yeah,
Michigan, Maine, right?
yep,
Don't they kind of operate like that?
yep. Also, Colorado, yeah, because my boy was pissed because he's like, "Yo, can you get?" He has a record. Can you
Corona.
get? Yeah. Can you like your license out there? It's like, yeah, if you got your papers and all that shit. So yeah, you can't do it in Colorado, but they'll buy my weed, but I can't get a fucking license. I was like, well, you just got to go to different states. All the states are working differently, so
Mm-hmm.
I think in general, the whole limit of count of plants is such bullshit. But ultimately, ends up being like anything else. As long as I'm not selling it, then so Uncle Sam isn't getting his cut on taxes. Everybody needs to mind their fucking business.
Yeah, what happens when the digital currency comes?
It's already here.
No, I mean when that's all there is.
Oh,
People
I
will
don't,
still.
I don't know. We talking about end of world shit, or we just talking about like
No, I'm talking about
just regular like development future shit?
there's no giving you cash. It's giving you a transaction of everything we do. There's no more cash. So
Yeah.
how's that black market operate?
I think I don't know. There's a will, there's a way. I feel like people will still.
Everyone's selling each other T-shirts now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the biggest time in history for T-shirts.
exactly. Everyone's got rolling trays and sticker boxes.
So what's up, man? What's Eternal's like 2020? I know what it was going to look like, but shit got delayed. But I mean, at least we can still plan for like the summer and on, right? We can end up taking our precautions from there.
Yeah,
But
no, you'll still be able to pull that off. Absolutely. With time.
so yeah, man, what are you up to? Well,
I mean, I'm just grinding, doing what I'm doing. Got enough stockpile of resources to hold me over, so
toilet paper.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I'm getting ready to do my first reversal. The past year, a lot of people just asking for a lot of feminized seeds. I noticed going from event to event, and it's just like, damn, this is just one other, you know what I mean? It's another piece to the puzzle that I guess you should be able to provide. So I'm gonna try my first reversal, get that going. I had one originally planned. I kind of switched gears the beginning of January. I kind of just changed what I was doing, switched everything up. I didn't like where one thing was already headed, and I knew it wasn't going to be even worth the time to still pursue it. So I still had time to revert back and change up my game plan. But yeah, no, I'm looking for the next pollination with this reversal to do an S1 and I think 11 or 12 different hybridized crosses. So it'll be interesting. I have a nice little variety of flavors to put together and definitely have my hands full testing through them, see how they go. But with some help of some friends, we'll get through it.
Nice. I really like. Yeah, it is true. It's that's what Gene said. We end up getting asked for like a lot of they're gonna have femmes, you're gonna have femmes. Now the other two I'm asked for autos too, but the big, you know, like now people are starting to like really like put out some like good, you know, solid work. People, the technique is a little bit more
Right.
stable, like that, just
Stabilized, yep.
so be able to get some good S1s. I mean, I know, you know, if you get some good S1s of those fucking cookies and cream cut you got, man, I fucking love that shit. Woo!
Yeah, that was a special cut. I have a back cross that I worked with it when I did the sourdough pollination. I didn't release it just for reasons because it's exotic strain and everything. So I just kept it for my own private in-house preservation. But but yeah, no, I'm running through some females of them now, which is gonna be interesting to see how it comes out. So she'll still be in the works.
Nice.
Yeah, no, she's a keeper.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I'm actually I actually had a whole like table like layout 2 days ago of like all this genetics that I got and trying to like map out what I want to do for the rest of the year. Because I actually, my boy, you know, he ended up moving out here, and so I always find males and shit like that. So now he wants to actually start breeding and shit like that. So I'm gonna end up passing the males to him. At least like, you know, because I feel like too that, you know, the males are they hold, you know, key to genetics and shit too, and they just get murdered like all the time. If I find something like worth it that, you know, I can end up passing on and he knows what to do with it, then, you know, let it rock.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's interesting that
But
you said that. Like everybody gets males, and it's just like, all right, no, we don't want that. When it's like, I mean, when they say you got to test your male, I mean, I feel like the true test is when you're actually growing out its progency and actually seeing what it's able to bring to the table. You don't really, you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, testing it for stabilization, making sure it's not going to hermy on you through flower and produce those, you know what I mean, hermaphroditic plants afterward. But the offspring, once you initially test it and actually see what it brings, and I think it's cool doing it to a whole variety of strains and seeing how each one plays a role with the mixture. You can still see similar traits originating from the parent. So I feel like if you definitely pay attention to that type of stuff, you definitely see it later on in different breedings. And even like you said, other people taking crosses. Like you say, your boy's going to just keep lines going, even if it's, you know what I mean, on a handful of cultivars, then it's still in a way preserved.
right. So rather just taking people's genetics, I have like a lot of like plastic baggies with like 3, 4 seeds, 6 seeds with somebody wrote something on it and then gave it to me. Like a lot of that shit. But they're just this cross. It doesn't have no name. Like there's this cross and this cross. So I've been hunting through. We're gonna end up hunting through all that shit, and then you know go from there. And then if we end up you know popping something else, if we end up actually finding something that belongs, to ask permission if we're able to actually breed it before, because that's something you know I learned along the way. That as far as with breeders, you end up asking, you know, like, yo, that's my cross. You just kind of just blah blah. But you know, and then the argument is, why should you sell the seeds that you just sold, you know, your shit off too? But I think it's just etiquette in this part to like, you know, hey, is this okay?
Yeah. I feel like at least showing, you know, you put your deal of work into your own project, you know what I mean? It's not directly stepping on somebody's toes. Like you said, as long as you take the right approach to it.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, to be honest with you, like, it's not about, and to me, it's not about money. It's about the time that this takes. This takes time. All these
Absolutely.
so but like I ended up just already planning out what I'm gonna do up to like about October. You know, like within the last few days, like already like you know, because I know how much this is gonna end up taking, and I know how to like chop it up so I don't have like you know gaps.
Yep.
How many degrees of separation do you have to keep that etiquette going? Because it's not like the guy before you was working with a land race.
I would. What do you think? You can answer that question better than I.
I would say, I mean, as long as you doing your own hunt and you're being true to, you know what I mean? Like having a goal set in mind and actually like not just putting, all right, I'm gonna put these two and two things together. Like one example with like, I don't know if you guys heard about like Copycat Seeds or whatever, and how he just S1s everyone's gear, and then he just sells the packs for whatever amount of money, and he gets rashed on for that. So it's like I can understand that to a degree, but which anybody should, you know what I mean? It's kind of literally copycat and literally just taking it and running. You're actually taking customers and someone's hard work time. Like I said, this shit takes time and energy behind it and resources. And
to like nothing.
but I feel like as long as you do your part and at least try to find your own path within a line or a cross, I feel like you're still, yeah, this line came from so and so, but it's also been worked a different direction. And three other people could be working the same line, and they each have their own little twist and spin that comes along. Yeah, you'll see similarities, I feel like, but
what I'm saying is, what about the guy before that guy? You're not even mentioning him right now.
so like, are you saying like, do you care about how that person created that cross? Is that what you're saying? Like the integrity behind who you're supporting, or
Yeah, so like when you say like, oh, you should reach out and let them know or ask permission to cross something with someone else's stuff, how far down the line are you going? I'm not saying you, but like
no, I get what you're saying.
before the line gets blurred and no one remembers or cares about that person who actually created something. Like, so is this just kind of bullshit formalities, people trying to be polite just to the next guy, or are they really being respectful? Because I don't hear the respect going down the line.
No. What were you gonna say, Lou?
Surface etiquette.
Well, right? Hello?
No, I hear you.
Everybody's like looking at each other like, I mean, like, is somebody that talk? Oh, shit, this is funny.
I'm not
So, like-
I'm not trying to put anyone on the spot. I'm just asking.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to understand like how to answer your question.
Okay.
Like, to my best ability.
I know what you mean, but the answer is it's just surface etiquette, basically. It's
Yeah,
just like
you're just covering you're covering your ass on the last step.
a little
On the
bit.
last step, yeah.
Because, like, okay, let's say you're using, I don't even want to use someone's name, but let's say I created, you're using something that I gave you, right?
Yep.
And now you go and you ask my permission to use it, but you're not back crossing where I got it. Like, there's no respect going to where I got that from, and then where that came from. Because nowadays, it's not like it's two landrace strains touching each other. These genetics are hit up by all different angles. At this
All
point.
kinds of things. Yeah, they're super hybridized. Almost
So
everything has been crossed with such and such and back and forth.
But you just hear that last guy getting that credit or the appreciation, or hey man, can I use your cross? I'm just curious. I'm not trying to put anyone on the spot. I'm just curious, like, is it just surface etiquette, or is it true respect for breeders? Because if it's true respect, that shit goes down the line.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's much true respect. I think it's more like you're saying, surface etiquette. No, because you, like you said, you hear these people say, "Oh, I went to so and so and asked permission to make this cross initially, and I can come to market and try to come with something to market, but to make money on it, obviously." But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I don't think it goes very far at all.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, absolutely not.
I knew that. I'm just trying to,
Yeah, no.
I can't be like,
question.
Rip off everybody's shit, but I'm like, nah, I gotta be, polite. We gotta, some surface etiquette and shit. For sure.
I only say that because this industry is full of such bullshit and
Tons of it.
and liars. So, you don't have to go gung ho on someone's backstory. A lot of people are
No, a lot of the time, yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I feel like. You got to kind of build your own story and find your own path with something.
It doesn't go away unless you end up changing regions, though. The regions end up remembering. It does end up actually, because there's so very little of us, and we end up actually pretty much knowing who's who. Like you always tend to see like a lot of the same faces running the show, right? Or like
Absolutely.
it's always a lot of the same faces. So um, regional, if you become like a shitty person, they'll remember. So you'll have to go to some other region within the country to actually like continue to have like some kind of career. And you see it happening all the time. There are actually a lot of them are heading up to like Maine and Vermont
I know. That's like, why is that?
because it's a new start for them.
It's a new market, yeah.
Out west, and they coming out, they coming out to the East Coast to like, restart their shit. But they also got a lot of old genetics too. They got some solid shit from back in the day. So it's a little bit, kind of like, yo, it's wild, yo. This shit, the genetics game, and how just the hunters, the breeding, the the like you said, copycat, yo. This it's so
Well,
much.
it's like, hey, can't knock his hustle. I mean, people are buying it, you know? It's like, what, I don't know.
No, but it's worth it. Even if you end up going on some high end shit and paying like $200 for like a 10 pack, if one of them ends up being solid as fuck, you're gonna get your $200 back and then some.
Oh, and some, absolutely.
So it's not like it's a lost type. Even if it ended up being a shitty fucking plant, you could still be able to get $200 worth and still get your money back. But people still bitch and complain about that shit. But that's where it lays at. If you don't have, we all know, if you don't have good genetics, you don't have like that, you don't got shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hit those checkpoints.
Yeah.
Definitely true.
Like, East, how are you finding hunting, like going through seeds? Like, have you over the years changed your technique or anything, or like or you just kind of just
Nah, a lot of it is just a lot of intuition on seeing a plant and then basically getting to test that plant's product at the end of the day.
That's what matters.
It's that simple. If the product is good, now you just take a few steps back and you go, okay, that plant grew great, or it didn't grow great. If it didn't grow great, how much of a problem was it, and how good of the product was it? And you just start weighing those things out. If it becomes like, all right, the plant was good, but it was a fucking pain in the ass. Time is money. Effort is money. How much
effort? Absolutely.
How much energy do you want to put into something?
Yeah.
So it just comes into what you value your time in. Really, that's how I determine a keeper, is what I think I get the most bang for my buck for a certain plant. So
are you seeing any like long term ones? Because I know a lot of people tend to shy away from those because they just take up so much time and space and stuff like that, especially to like counts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a huge part of the sativa like that. I know some takes a long time, but that we're missing. That it's just.
You mean like the long flowering time plants?
The longer sativa type plants, yeah. Yeah, the market definitely lacks it.
Like nobody really, it's already hard, not hard, but difficult because you have such a much longer timeline. You can't like crank into it so much because you could very easily like just overfeed, and now you got a very long way to go with a sick plant. It's twice as difficult. It's so much more complicated in the sense of like the time span you're doing it versus like doing
I mean,
2.5 month type of thing.
I mean, I can basically predict on a commercial scale you're not going to see it. It's just it's not feasible for business. The amount of the cost that it then creates to create that pound is way. It's just it fucks with the margins of an actual profitable business.
But why can't you just price it to match what actually is a?
I feel like unless you have something specific, that people like.
Well, unfortunately, the market won't allow that. People are not gonna go and pay $95 for an eighth of sativa because it took 12 weeks to flower it out.
No.
I think eventually that they will. You know why? Because if they end up paying truffles and fucking mushrooms and all that shit that take a long time to grow, a few years, and the longer the years, the more money ends up being. I think they'll do the same thing with cannabis. It's all ends up being about us just pricing it and like, look, why is it costing us? Because this shit took twice as fucking long to grow. That's
Yeah,
why.
but what about like
But who's
even
gonna set that trend? Who's gonna set that trend and only harvest 3 times a year and now cut their margins by millions of dollars?
It's gotta be.
It's just not. No one's gonna. Yeah, everyone wants it, but no one's gonna fiscally do it.
Why can't you just set one whole room aside? You can end up having like
Well, that's how you can do it, like small scale. You can definitely.
yeah, you'd have to make it like a special occasion type of thing, and
having those big gigantic fucking like
But even then,
Calis, you know what I'm saying? Like them tunnel greenhouses and
the
just
hoop houses.
yeah, and doing fucking light depth and
yeah,
and
outdoor style for sure, like light depth for sure, but not indoor.
that's what I'm saying. They got it and they're not doing it either.
But you don't think anybody is? I mean, there's got to be somebody out there bringing some sort of product like that to the market. No, you would think, right?
Well,
From all the different states, you would think it's got to be available in one way or another.
I'm sure it's available in very small quantity, and most of what you see labeled sativa is not.
No, it's still hybridized for the majority of the part.
So, I mean, who knows how many pure sativas are out there? It's no one's going to let you get full access of all that type of information. That's private intellectual property for the company. They tell you what's on the label, and that's it. You have to believe it.
True.
But how many?
That is true.
How many sativas grow in 9 weeks? If you follow the batch numbers on their codes, on their jars, well, you can start figuring out they're harvesting the same batches together, and you just got to do some ugly math.
Some research, yeah, a little digging.
And we'll never get there if they keep restricting how people can grow. Maybe some people do want to grow sativa. And just all you gotta do is just like stagger it. You put one in there 1 month, right? And then a month from there you add a second one.
Yeah, but
like
that's
it's for third one and the fourth one, and then boom, by the time they're like that, you already got one every fucking month.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely ways to fit it in, but at the end of the day, that's a plant's space, and that plant costs way more money than every other plant around it.
And that should charge more.
Again, there's a cap to the consumer's limit.
Yeah, there's only so many people that are going to buy into it. Yeah, no, that's true. Targeted market, I guess.
And you're dealing with
branded high scale. You'll be like, look, you know what? It's not. It's people are gonna say this isn't this. But like this isn't for like the normal.
If you can,
we got regular shit over there. This ain't that.
Right, you got to build that. You have to build that
shit.
Absolutely.
Shit all day.
You have to build a brand to get that trust level before you can just release that, and none of these companies have that.
No, that's true.
All we do is grow it, and all we say is that it costs more money because it cooked longer, so it's got a more fine wine type of shit, and this isn't for the everyday Joe. This is for the big pocket people. It's okay. Yeah, cool. I got other shit for that too. And that's how I believe true sativa should be priced, because it takes twice as long to grow. Sometimes even 3 times.
Yeah, we understand that, but don't forget, a lot of these people walk into the stores and they don't even realize what part of the plant they're smoking. They think it's the fucking leaf that they see on the side.
For them, this ends up being like when somebody walks into the liquor store and they got the shelves and like that. This is like that.
But don't forget,
how much like this? That's not for you.
You're selling to the store, and that's who their customers are. So if they don't have the demand for that, they're not buying it.
You just gotta give it, buy it.
I agree with you, but I'm just telling you from the.
Vala's like, yo, let me get that top shelf. He's like, yo, that's 80.
Yeah.
Wow, yo, 108. Yo, this guy's got pockets. It's like, yo, why does it cost so much? Because it takes twice as long to grow.
But like East Coast of Damn said, you have to have that brand. You have to have that trust to just say, hey, we have this only exclusively, and
Not
we-
about that. That's part of it, but ultimately, it's just about pure facts. It took twice as long to grow. It takes more money, more electricity, more thing. It took
right. So when you drop it, that shit better sell out right away, so you don't spend any more time housing it.
keep it moving.
Right.
But once it's going and there's a brand for like that, now once there's one person and there's a little bit of money to be made, I guarantee you there'll be some other fucking company will create another fucking product, and now you got two. Now you got a Coke.
You can slip those in,
and that's it.
You slip those in as drops, but they're not going to be a regular mainstay in your facility. You're not filling rooms.
No.
Correct.
Like you said, yeah, it's going to be a limited quantity thing.
That's it. And
that's all. That's my whole argument is based off of that. Like, you can't fill a facility with that because of the margins just do not become profitable at that point, or very, very small profit, because the amount of electricity you're using, the amount of nutrients you're using, the water, all of that stuff is big bills. And when you're talking a big commercial grow.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm talking about for like the individual when it comes to like what the consumer pricing should end up being related to, because now from what I've always heard, and I've never actually cultivated an actual strawberry cough, a shitty producer.
That's I got the cut from Cushman. I've grown it. His cut.
His cut.
Him. Yeah.
Is it a great producer?
It's not the best producer, no.
So, because of something classic, right? Especially of that lineage, and being able to cultivate like that, and not being a great producer, that should end up actually putting it in a higher price like that, because now you have more classic, and also the limitations. The little bit that actually produces is not a heavy producer. We tend to go lean towards heavy producers, so we have more output. But ultimately, if we're talking about something that's unique, as staple as strawberry cough, you should definitely have to pay more.
And I agree with you, but at the end of the day, does the guy who doesn't know the backstory of that agree with you? And most people don't know the backstory of it.
Do they care? Yeah.
Hey, that's up to the retail person to sell it. Oh, why does it cost so much? Is it well because strawberry cough is XYZ, blah blah blah,
and then they go and they buy Wedding Crasher. But I'm just telling you what happens.
It's the same for the broke boy. It's simple as that.
No. I get what you're saying.
Strawberry cough, because the only way I've ever ended up tasting strawberry cough is people actually like gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? Not because I actually ended up cultivating that shit or was able to just buy it at the store either, or in the dispensary. What dispensary or retail shop that actually has like strawberry cough like that? You know what I'm saying? It have to be something licensed through Kyle or his part or something. Like,
well,
yes, most certainly you fucking pay more. Hell yeah, all day. But people don't agree like that. Oh, well, I'm not gonna pay no 85 and 8. I can just end up getting this. This is fire.
No, but Lou, we agree with you. But at the end of the day, it's business.
Yeah.
And the average customer typically is not gonna understand or care about that.
Well, then the question is to you guys is, all right, we understand these facts, right? Would you guys pay a higher price for this vintage classic, certified like type of cannabis?
I absolutely would under one circumstance. It's verifiably grown by that person.
Okay. I agree with that. Yeah. I pay extra for that. Yeah.
If I know that came from Cushman's cultivation facility or whatever the case is.
Yes.
Yes. But I'm not going to pay extra money because some random fucking dispensary down the street is just calling their cut strawberry cough.
Unless it's some super fire, then
that's right. And
that's the thing. Like, is it worth it in the fact that I'm satisfied spending that amount and I think I got the most bang for my buck? But like what you're saying is, if it was grown by that person, I don't know. I feel like it brings up something where I was at an event years ago in like 2015, and there was a brand who was with whatever pack of seeds you purchased, he'd give you a sample. And I had ended up grabbing something from him, so he gave me a sample of his product. And later that day, I went back to go try that product, and yeah, it was a sample that was free. So I mean, maybe there was some reason for that, but the product, it was terrible. I was like, I would never hand this out for free. This is just not good. Didn't even smoke. Like, I was trying to light it in a joint and I couldn't even keep the shit lit. I was like, this is terrible. I'm like, this is awful. And it kind of lowered my standards that I viewed that person. I was like, damn, huh? It's kind of interesting. But at the same time, being a business and seeing it in that aspect, you got to understand it's like, all right, well, I can't, you know what I mean? Utilize it in this fashion. So I'm going to use it as a treat to,
Right,
you know?
but frauds aren't legends. And when you're talking about particular things like the strawberry cough, like that's a different, that's
Right. Like I said, yeah, right. It could be any instance, you know what I mean? Any strain from any one of these top guys, right? I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like if you actually got like some GG from
true, right, verified, factual.
GG,
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? Like verified. No, not even verified, but actually grown from them. Everybody grows differently too.
And that's only me personally. I'm not even saying that should be some type of standard. That's just me. Like, I would pay that extra $5 or whatever it's from.
To know it was from them. Yeah.
That we're not looking. That market and that price point isn't for your average price.
Every day, right.
That shit was grown correctly. That shit came out exactly how it should be, or it's from the person that actually created it at the same time. That I think is the being worth like that. But people don't want, like you said, a lot of people don't want to hear it. But again, that's what I'm saying. Is like it's not for them. It's not for.
But what are you gonna drop for an ounce? Top dollar.
For an ounce? No, I don't like to buy a whole ounce of something anyway. It's gotta be chopped up of a whole bunch of.
We gotta use a square number here.
Okay, so what if you do it by the eighth? What would be the highest amount you pay for an eighth?
Oh man,
of pure sativa, like a pure sativa, and be honest, like you literally only have this much money in your wallet, and you can go buy a half ounce, or you're gonna buy an eighth of this sativa. You're buying the half ounce every time.
No, I'm gonna I'll say 85 for fucking a slice of some like.
Right, that's the thing. So what is that? Right, what's that price point?
Semi-Subway cat pissy type of like
between $60 and $100 for an eighth.
Oh yeah, and I'll pay that. I will. I'll pay 85. I paid 85 before, back in the 90s for some of the first hydro shit.
Back in the day, yeah.
But
yeah.
So you're gonna pay. So you're saying that weed is only worth $25 worth more than what the normal price is.
Yeah.
So that's not double the value because it's not double the fucking. It's double the growing time.
No, now I'm not talking about no double, no value. No, I'm talking about to be more realistic about something. Like if I'm gonna end up upping the price within some price point or like that, that's not too far. Like within like tables, people think they gotta like quadruple like the fucking farmer dude that like 900% up to like that. No, you don't have to. You can end up doing like 25, 30%, something like that, and end up being just fine. Like it's just it's still reasonable. It's not like all right, $85 for like some real fire shit.
Yeah, but
so you had.
We were talking about how if you just go back and listen, you said, "Oh, if it takes twice as long to grow, you just charge double the price."
Yes, I didn't. All right, so even if I said it, I didn't really mean it literally.
Okay.
What to give you a number, I gave you a number. And what we were talking about number two within like something that ends up being a sativa. Yeah, I still at about 85.
Yeah, paying up a marked up value.
I agree with that number too. Like I would pay 85 too. I agree with that. But I'm just saying
it's for everybody. People want to buy $30 eighths.
Oh.
That's cool. Let them buy the $30 eighths.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I was going back to how it's not, it doesn't equate to being profitable.
I feel like too, even if you have that special product and you offer it at 85 and 8 or whatever the case may be, and you have your everyday consumer who normally goes in and gets whatever the normal, 30, whatever the average, price is for flour or whatever the product they're buying, you're going to occasionally lure them into try it if you have it available.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Birthday, let me get the top shelf.
Yeah, exactly.
Top shelf. Like, not no joke. Oh, it's top shelf. Nah, man, because you ain't. Just everybody's like bargain sale. Race to the bottom, man. Like, I'm talking about, like, they're talking like it's crazy how they end up, but it's our fault though, because if we don't always end up saying, look, it costs more because, but I was like, well, they don't fucking buy it. So move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? But when the ones that know, and that's the market you're going to sell, they'll try to sell it to like a normal person. Like, I know that a good amount of people within states and different parts of the states end up actually liking specific types of weed. And they don't understand the like complexities of like just the whole terpene wheel within general. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a big education factor that I feel like certain products need to be focused on. You know what I mean? Like certain things you have to educate the consumer on what it is and to actually make it worth your while, I feel like. But then again, that costs time and resources to educate the consumer too,
Is it really educating them or exposing them? Because education is really them just trying something and liking it.
Well, I mean, going back to like how you were saying, does someone care if this is such and such a strain? You know what I mean?
Well, unfortunately, we want them to, but they're not going to.
No,
the majority of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I bet you they're paying $85 for that eighth if it said like 33% THC.
Yeah, probably. That's the other thing too. Like, do you guys think some of these labs and their equipment, do they have a standard, or you know what I mean? Do they have something that somebody puts them in check to make sure their equipment's up to par?
No.
I mean, most of the labs that are in the state are the ones educating the state. So who's coming in to check the labs? I mean, no one's smart enough to double to check those guys. As far as on the state level of doing their checks and stuff, they don't know. They just take the lab's word.
Yeah, that's true. They just take, like you said, whatever gets on the sticker.
Most of the labs help in setting up the education for the state. They do a lot. There are a lot of that. They play a big role. Those conferences. Yeah, they're usually a speaker at those conferences that are held by the fucking CCC and shit. You'll see MCR labs there, always giving speeches, always giving talks.
Oh, so that's interesting.
The labs definitely. I mean, but there's only a couple labs, so
right.
You do need someone out there telling people what's going on. So it's not like I'm not accusing them of doing anything bad, but
no, I'm not accusing them of doing it. But but
it's definitely a small group of companies that are doing the testing. So you just want to have faith in them, I guess. There's not too many controversies that seem to come up as far as I don't hear a lot of controversy with labs. Just a lot of people like us saying, I don't know if the fucking THC is that high.
If that sticker is actually accurate, right? Exactly.
Because it doesn't
really matter. To what degree do you think? Right? How deep do you go?
Yeah, but Lou's right. It doesn't even matter.
No.
So that's what I think though. Like they'll pay the top dollar for the wrong shit. They're paying it for the supposed 33% THC versus true, sativa, true strawberry cough, like, in price correctly.
And you know what comes into play with that? You got to know what kind of store you're selling your flower to. Because if you have the type of storefront that doesn't even let the customers smell the product or see the product up close, if they just only have the option of looking through,
then you're just selling them on names. It's just a market of names.
so then it's a harder sell because people can't get that extra, desire to have it if they hold it in their hand or smell the jar. If they're just their only choice is picking a package, that looks cool. That's behind the
Yeah,
shelf.
whatever it is what's, yep.
No, sometimes they can't. The state doesn't allow them to. It all depends if the state allows them to actually have it, to, smell. Some can have it in containers so you can actually smell. Some they could actually show you with like a thong and shit like that. And I mean, that's all
I've seen,
and shit, but
they have those, and I've seen them in all the different states.
yeah,
Both varieties of store. And usually it's the lower end store is like the bodega type store. They're just trying to get you in and out. They're not letting you fucking be a connoisseur and smell this and smell that.
No, it's the whole approach to, yeah, absolutely. That's true too. That plays a role.
it's not a Whole Foods. It's a fucking corner store. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're thinking like some people, but if you're kind of cool, you should know better.
But
Yeah, that is true.
But when you can't find nothing else, you fucking gonna go. Yeah.
Anyways, what else we got?
I want to go traveling. I want to go take. I didn't want to get stuck in. I wanted to go take a plane out to Puerto Rico, but
how's Puerto Rico doing with this situation? I haven't heard anything.
well, it's like Sandy, the hurricane, and then the overthrowing the governor, and then the earthquake, and now coronavirus.
But how are they doing with Corona? They have people with it?
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah, a lot of places too.
Everybody does, man. It's just, and it's just targeting. But that's the thing about it is that.
Did you guys see that website? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I forgot the name of it. But the counter, you know what I mean? It's got like all the counter. Yeah. It's got like all the dots on the regions and the plant on the earth and everything.
The Johns Hopkins.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep.
Death clock. Because that's how they're selling it. So that's how the music I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, just imagine if they broadcasted like suicides. Like we would all think we're all going to kill ourselves within a year.
Yeah.
I mean, when you I said this before on the last podcast, but when you're like displaying that shit like it's a fucking fantasy football stat, like live streaming it like a sport, it's gonna scare the shit out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, there's some old lady right now. Oh my God, somebody else died right now.
They literally put the counter up like as the day goes on, the counter rises like on live television. The death toll goes up and up and up and up and up. It's fucking nuts. Psyop.
What do you think, man? You think this is all? You think this is all about aliens? They're trying to get us?
Nah, I told you what I think it's about, man.
Flat Earth and shit.
No, this is the death of a fiat currency. That's what this is.
Yeah, they're really trying some like real fucked up shit though. But I know that the cannabis industry, which is so before, right, with most recessions and most depressions, there's a few industries that continue to make money. Alcohol, cannabis, drugs in general, and people end up still finding ways to buy other entertainment, and of course they use bars and concerts and all that stuff. But now, because of that, people can't do that part. So it's going to be more focused on like industries that support those type of industries that end up being more of a sure shot as far as an investment into a business to get into. Not restaurants, right? Gone. Fucking gyms gone. So like, yo, all you see now is all the bodybuilders and all the like personal trainers at home showing everybody how to lift couches and how to like
Lift couches.
you don't have to like. It's like it doesn't matter where you are. If like, you got to be positive and think, it's like you can just they're just lifting shit, going crazy, yo, inside their house. I know they're going crazy. So people that don't have sports either, you know, like the sports it just ended up just like done like overnight, just left them all hanging. Like
Sports dads are watching cartoons.
oh now you know they're just like playing video games and too much video games, and of course that's just getting on everybody's nerve and just there's no escape.
Yo, hold on. I'm gonna go grab my charger real quick.
All right. Fuck, man. I need some fucking water or something. Damn, yo, I wish they did have some wine with some alcohol or something. Yo, I posted yesterday, April Fool's, yo, that the governor announced that he was closing the liquor stores on April 4th. Yo, people were sharing it, yo. Shit was fucking funny.
Yo, that fucking interview that you posted was funny.
Wait.
And I said, I choose.
Oh. That shit, yo, it was like, hey, I can't wait till we can just give it, you know, and then I have to wash your hands after. I was like, yo, you nasty mother, you should definitely wash your hands after. Like, you nasty motherfucker. Like, we were never, that's the thing, was like, we were never there. Like, there was no point like that. He's like, go wash your hands after that. Like, we were never. Oh my God, yo, that is the worst, yo. Yo. Do you see that little interview I posted? The guy playing the trick on his coworkers. No, yes.
No.
It's funny.
Real funny, yeah.
It's on your page.
Yeah, it's on my page. Yo, it's crazy, yo, because, you know, out of all the shit that people end up, like all the things that I end up posting on my page, I swear, like the funny shit is just, and you know, and like the outlet ends up drawing the most attention. Like the cannabis stuff,
Yeah.
doesn't really draw attention. It's fucking weird as shit. Like,
yo, I do not know how Instagram works, man.
Yeah, it's so weird. Whatever algorithm it is, it's odd. I've even tried like putting like different like actual quotes or like something from like songs or you know what I mean, just weird shit, just to see if it'll throw it off with the photo. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't do much of a difference.
no, yeah, mine either. I always get like a lot of ass. Like I just say it all the time, just ass all the time. Like, damn it, can I look at something else? Can you show me like a rocket or something? Like shit.
I mean, I went live the other night. I only had 122 viewers. I got 73,000 followers.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But is it?
No, I like like how many followers can? Yeah, no, you have a lot of followers, but you think more people tuning in, right?
It just
Is that what
doesn't
you're saying?
make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. I would think there'd be more people,
Right.
but I don't understand it.
Yeah, that's it. That's my entertainment. That's it, you know. But how you guys dealing with this quarantine now? You guys all right?
Yo, man, I'm a grower. I've been quarantined for 10 years, bro.
10 years. Yeah, it just sucks, like you said, man. You can't go out when you like want to, even if you do it once a month, week, whatever the case may be. You're like limited.
No, you can go out whenever. The thing about it is
No, but like you said, like
there's nothing.
well, like shit closes, you know.
You can't go to the indoor water park because it's closed. You can't go.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to, like, you got kids, you want to, like, take them to, like, you know, an adventure or, like, something like that. Nope, can't do it. Disney shut down. Sorry, you're not seeing Mickey Mouse right now.
We can drive by it.
Right?
Yeah, drive by 2020.
But
This is just so strange, man. Imagine, it's like, even if you just go back a year, even 5 months ago, would you ever imagine the whole entire world, everyone standing 6 feet away from each other? Like, imagine that movie. Like, it'd be so fucking strange. You'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Why is the whole world standing 6 feet away from each other?
6 feet away.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah,
That's such a change that's a change in human life.
it's quiet outside, bro. Too. That's like, even I'm still shocked by it. I understand it, but it's just so odd. Yo, go outside.
It's like eerie.
Just like, and just sit there and just sit on a bench or something like that and just like take. It's so.
Yeah, but you can't. Like you said, a lot of the public places they like close them up.
Yeah, and all the public
you can't go to playgrounds. You can't go.
No, you can't even go. You can't go run on a track. You can't do nothing.
Nothing, yo. So all you can do is like walk down a sidewalk.
So even though like you keep saying we're not like locked down, we
Right.
are.
No, we're locked out of shit. We're
Yeah.
not.
That's right.
There you go. They locked us out of like all the.
You can't go to the restaurant if you want to go get a nice meal. You can't. You gotta do takeout.
Like yo. Yesterday, the drive-through, as far as people were.
Was it packed? Oh my god.
So I drove outside far. There's ATMs have the regular so you can end up depositing checks or cash checks or whatever.
Yeah, the drive-through thing, right? Yeah.
Bank. So
You're kind of cutting out.
how you feel me?
Yeah. Now you're good.
All right. So since they're not letting people inside the bank, and people are still trying to cash their check, they literally just stood in line like between the cars and just did it that way.
That's weird, huh?
It's gonna keep getting weirder. Trust me.
And he got his check cashed. Yeah.
Yeah, people are still gonna try to, I don't know.
It worked. They did it. They cashed it. They don't want nobody inside. Which is still crazy because they're actually, going into the tube and then it's going into there and it comes back. It's stupid as fuck.
Yeah, but back in the day, too, that's how a lot of banks used to be, no? There was no ATMs. You would pull up and you would fuck around with that little tube shit. I mean, this was like, I remember when I was really young, I was little. I slightly remember it. Like, some of them still have it, I think, but most of them now, you pull up, it's like ATMs on like all the drive-through windows.
Yeah. That's the banks that you could just take a picture and just deposit it with check wherever.
Yo, your mic is fucked up, dude.
I'm getting you guys echo. Hold on.
Yeah, I turned my sound down.
Yo.
There you go.
I'm just getting some. Hello?
Yeah, you think you're good?
How about now?
Yeah.
I think it was like picking up one of you guys' speaker, and then my mic is picking it back up, so it sounds like shit.
Well, I'm wearing headphones, so it ain't me.
It's not you, no. Probably I turned my speaker down.
Yo. All right.
Yeah,
So-
we're good. You guys do anything outdoors?
Yeah, hiking shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like grow outdoors?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, dude. So I'm about to actually. So the reason that
You mess with it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do definitely
I
every year.
I don't.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't.
it's a fucking huge adventure. I'm telling you, you guys need to try it at least once. It's so wild, but it's so amazing too because at the same time you're like dealing with like how it normally is in like nature, and you start seeing the plant actually, like just react totally different. You're like, wow, that looks so amazing with very little effort. Um, and you're battling the elements at the same time too.
Yep.
Now, outdoor can never be truly medical. It's impossible because it's outdoors.
There's
Duh.
too much particle. Yeah, all kinds of shit.
Run it and make it medical. You know what I'm saying? Like make it into oil or RSO and make it medical that way, but not like the flower part. That's my opinion. I don't care. In some states, don't agree with that. Say that outdoor shit can be medical. Okay, whatever. Um, it's tough in New England because the weather's so wacky.
Weather's crazy. Yeah.
Fucking been an insane winter. Like it's so stupid.
Yeah, it was like hailing the other day.
You know what I'm saying? This is nuts. So that's what you got to look forward to. But it's so awesome though. So I'm actually working on like I'm gonna end up working on like an auto project. So you can end up getting about 2 to 3 good like harvests using autos. But you gotta use some really good autos. You can't use like fully newly made autos. Like you gotta have some good stable like autos to. And I say auto regs, not auto femmes, because I want to end up actually like picking out the males too and see because I also want to use the project as kind of like a teaching environment for people to see how the males and the females grow and be able to do multiple cycles versus just having the long veg and then getting to one cycle of flower. What do you guys think about those?
Um, it's been years since I've touched an auto.
Yeah, it's been years.
I mean, back in the day, I thought they were great because it was a nice way to like test some genetics. If you wanted to grow some super silver haze, you can get a super silver haze auto, and then if you like it,
yeah,
then you can go and buy the seed and grow it out. But ultimately, I always found them to be kind of not a waste, but a waste in our situation where we have a plant count. So if you want to try to stay within your limits, why are you growing autos? But if you're straight up just trying to
get so big,
yeah, I mean it's hit or miss too. I mean even if you do everything to the best of your ability, sometimes the plant doesn't put out. It's just
you just end up with a small little
Just the
auto. But we're hearing now that that they're growing these autos because most of the autos end up being overseas, right? Like and a lot of them don't actually have reps in the U.S. because most of the time the U.S. prefers regs.
Now they come see a lot of feminized.
Right now, they're still not even on but all the auto ends up being overseas, and now some of them are even claimed to like end up putting out like half a pound per like plant on like some auto. That's not bad. It's something that you just gotta like put in a good decent sized pot.
Yeah, bro. Claims that but the thing is a claim's a claim.
Right, I hear you. I get you perfect, but still.
Because with autos, I've seen it, man. With the same pack of seeds in an auto, I'll get 5 ounces on a plant and literally 26 grams on the next one. Like in the same room, sitting side by side. So there's no like stable factor that you can guarantee. Yeah. That's the main issue. If you could clone those things and get an auto that gives you a half pound and you can clone that bitch, fucking awesome. You're talking that's some serious. You could develop a business off that, but it's just not consistent enough to rely on. So
no, you can't.
If you're trying to play by the rules with plant counts and you want to sustain covering your overhead, autos are very risky.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like you said, years ago I ran one here or there. You know what I mean?
Like I always found the best. For me, I would always, if I'd have some extra space in my veg area, I would just keep an auto right there.
Yep.
And let it get 18 hours of light, whatever the fuck it got. And
it's still flowered, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, it flowered. So, but other than that, man, I've done a couple different trials with autos.
Just getting them from like freebies, ordering seeds back in the day. I'd be like, all right, I'll toss one in.
Yeah. And then I had a couple breeders send me, several packs of autos, and they're fun because it's like a lottery. It's like a scratch ticket. You have no fucking idea what you're gonna get. Like I said, you can get the 5-ouncer or the fucking 16-gram plant. It's like
yeah. Big old salad and all leaves and shit. Yeah.
Or just like that type of flower structure, because most auto flower structure is horrible. I mean, you're not finding.
No.
I mean, the ruderalis plant has bad flower structure. I don't care what anyone says.
It's like very airy.
Very airy and spindly, and it's got that goofy look where it's grown in like a 200-watt tent. You know what I mean? So autos, it's like, why? If you're, it's a great. I always say this about autos, and I will always say this: if it's your first time growing weed, it's amazing to grow autos because you get to see the transformation of the plant into flowering and see the different stages of plant growth.
Yep.
But after that, once you want to take it serious, you step out of the autos and you start to
absolutely.
Move up. You move into fems, and then once you master your little fem game, you start playing with some regs and then see what you can get. But even then, if you're just trying to grow, I don't care if you grow fems, regs, whatever, because you're not going to start breeding.
It doesn't matter as long as you got something good.
It's about finding a keeper, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you don't plan on breeding it, I don't care what you're using. Bag seed, find anything crazy. But
bag seed, can never sleep on a bag seed. It has some of the dopest shit, like from time to time, come out of a bag seed.
It's always the best shit.
Oof. Oh man, I found this one purple chem one time. Oh my god, she was a giver. she was so friendly though. I always go back to like that clip of when he gives up in Half Baked when he said, "I'm gonna give up weed," and he's talking to the joy. He said, "Come on, just a quick time." She goes, "No, but she's looking."
Dave Chappelle's funny.
I said, "Damn you."
Abba Zabba, you my only friend.
That's funny.
So I had this question. Obviously, I'm going to bring it up when Bond is on next time, but isn't water tech? I mean, I already know the answer to this because I looked into it before I wanted to bring it up, but water is a solvent, isn't it?
No.
So because if water is a being compound of H2O, it's not just like one. You know what I'm saying? Like water doesn't have its own periodic thing, so it's not pure.
What's the other word? What is it? A solvent?
No, the reason why it's not considered the reason why it's not considered a solvent because it's not volatile.
Yes, it is.
I'm just telling you why I've looked it up.
What is it called? The hydrofusion or
chemical bond or whatever?
Nah, like that. It was that chain reaction shit.
But just stoner talk. Water is a solvent.
If you want to say that, sure. I know you already.
Water doesn't break things down.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying stoner talk.
But it doesn't change its chemical compound. It can break down a rock and corrode a rock, but it's still a rock. Right? Because if you look at the compound of I don't know, they say mix this solution with that solution. One's a solvent and one's whatever it is you mix into it. Then you're actually changing the actual compound of what you're actually making, right?
In this right now,
listen, hold on. Shut up for a second. I told you I already looked it up. I know the answer. I'm saying stoner talk.
Stoner talk.
What are you shaking your fucking head for? I told you I already looked it up. I know the answer.
I it up is what I'm saying. That's what.
What is he laughing at?
It's solvent. It is a solvent. 80%. It's a good solvent.
It's not a volatile compound that's going to be dangerous. That's why it doesn't. When we're talking about solventless extraction, that's what I'm talking about extraction specifically.
Oh, okay. I
So
get
what
you.
that literally is, water is called the universal solvent because it dissolves more substances than any other liquid.
Right. And that's where my argument started, where it's a solvent, but in the terms of the cannabis community, it's considered solventless. It's because it's not a volatile chemical. That's where the difference is in the cannabis community.
I
But
get you.
that's why I was saying
Okay.
I wanted Bond to be here. I wanted Bond to hear that, yo, water's a solvent, bro. It's not solventless.
Yep.
Just stoner talk. Just stoner talk.
But you know what it is too? It's that it goes with the whole culture because we call sativas that are not really sativas. We call indicas that are not indicas. Those words are fuck like the indicas like that are not what we thought they. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
that makes sense. So why not?
Big misconception. Yeah.
But I'm just,
Solvent.
I would love to just throw that at Jay and hear him bitch out at us. Nah, bro. Water brings life, man.
Water.
Brings life. Oh man.
You're going with that. Once you said it, I was like, oh, here we go.
But yeah, but just in the realm of stoner talk, it'd be nice to throw that around and just hear people argue about it's not a solvent. No, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah? Just look it up. Google that shit.
He said, "Google that shit."
Shit.
Yo, you know what's great is you can get alcohol delivered to your house with this whole thing going on.
I
Yo,
did.
You just
I see
fucking.
you drinking
I was
I had
talking
ordered
about
some
that before you
beer.
got on.
from out of state. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be cool. It's a good opportunity to try this beer." Ship it right to my door.
This was up.
Get to try it tomorrow. Nice little treat.
Oh, word up. Yeah, I gotta actually like, yeah. My guest ended up picking up liquor. Oh, my wine too.
Terrible.
Gotta go get some more supplies.
I hope she paid for it.
Oh, she paid for it.
Okay, then all right, we're good.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, did you hear that the CCC is talking about having people shut down their cultivation entirely?
Yeah.
So all your plants are dead.
Like the current ones who are like active and operating
Yeah.
in Massachusetts?
Yes.
Wow.
And only allowing what? The medical ones to stay up, which are still that, I don't know, it's this whole thing is just stupid. I don't even know on the level of like retardedness.
Yeah, that sucks.
They're talking about not even like saying you have to stop cultivation entirely right now.
Yeah, it's just like shut
Stop
down, leave
all of the
everything in
plants.
place. See you later.
Yep.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's terrible, but how do you,
Yeah, no, nothing anybody can do about it. It's out of everybody's control, you know?
I tell you what, the lineup on TV has been like pretty awesome though.
Yo, I watched this movie on Netflix called The Platform, I think.
I seen that one. I see that shit, yo. That shit is crazy, right?
So weird, man.
Yo,
what's that about?
dude.
It's about like this like prison with like all these levels. And picture, like, I guess you can sign up for this prison or whatever it is. And picture,
Is it
you
real?
have, no, I think it's just a movie. But,
Yeah, it's a
so like
short
this
film.
platform with a bunch of food and it like goes down level to level and there's 2 prisoners on each level, and everybody gets to eat for a certain amount of time. And it's supposed to like last all the way down through all the levels, but the people at the top like squash everything down and like spit and piss on it, and like it's fucked up.
It's an hour and like 34 minutes long. It's not like a long movie.
No, it's not a long movie, but it's weird. I was like, what the hell is this? What a weird story. It was cool. It wasn't bad. Just because it was something totally different. You know what I mean? It's such a different concept.
God damn.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, man. So yeah, they're opening everybody up to like a lot of weird shit too.
Yeah, and all these online streaming sites.
It's gonna be some weird shit.
I don't know. I get angry when I flip through the news and see the different news stations portraying different angles of what's going on. It's just like, how is this country even calling this news? This isn't news.
Yeah.
This is not the news. How can there be news if it's 2 different angles? Where's the truth? It's just fucking TV shows. But everyone calls it the news.
Well, I think the best way that I've ever heard somebody describe like the ridiculousness of the news, right? Let's say that right, 89% of people agree to, I don't know, legalize cannabis, right? And then you have 11% that don't agree. When you end up having people in an interview, it ends up being 1-1. So now the debate looks like it's 50-50. So whoever could put the better debate up, that's how you're able to sway a public. The one thing you have to do to try to fix something like that is to make sure that they understand that the real percentage about it is like 89. So they'll go that this other person only representing like 11% of the population, as far as the other ones represent 89. But they never make it seem that way. They always want it to be a nice, what do you call it, like spirited debate, because it gets more viewers. But it's always making it seem like it's 50-50.
Right, and a spirited debate is not the news.
Correct.
And that's why I'm just saying I think it's hilarious that so many people consider these things the news. What is the news? Do we have any actual journalists? I don't know anymore.
We do, and they try, but they get blurred out by bullshit. The media, the 3 companies that end up pumping out all the news.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like each party has its own news station, and it's just a battle between all of them. It's like, it's so transparent. It's gross on all angles. I'm not for any side on this. I'm just saying it's just so crazy that the American people are that stupid. It's like, oh my God, you flip 2 channels down and you're gonna hear the exact opposite story that they're talking about at the exact same time. It's like it's even lined up in unison. They go to break at the same times. It's like, Jesus Christ. This is so easy to figure out.
Oh my God.
But people don't change the station. They just stay at what they're fucking looking at, and their narrative is developed through whatever station they watch, and boom. It's crazy.
So I used to be part of that whole broadcasting industry. So each hour is split up into 6, A, B, C, D, E, F. And those are blocks where you end up putting your commercials. At most, you can end up putting commercials up to max at like 6 minutes. But you generally try to keep it to about like 4 minutes, as far as like 15, 30-second commercials, 60-second commercials within that time between like a 30-minute show. So you're not really watching a 30-minute show. You're really watching like a 25-minute show. And then the other 5 minutes is actually being put of commercials and different things.
Yep.
And you're really watching, 6 5-minute shows, because they don't stay on one topic for more than fucking 3-4 minutes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. They jump around to all kinds of crazy shit and all kinds of shows too. Even if it's about like fucking murder mysteries or something, they jump from fucking one story to another. And
My
I don't
favorite
let you
is
get a grasp on anything.
my favorite is like, oh, murder and blah blah, just like that. But next, we're gonna see a surfing squirrel. Dead ass like that is like, wow. Like this is crazy.
do you guys remember that show that used to play on Cartoon Network back in the day, like called Space Ghost?
Yes.
No.
It was like almost like
Cartoon Network came out when I was an adult, bro. I don't fucking know anything that's on that channel.
did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking watched the shit out of it. Me, I was an adult, but I watched the shit out of it.
It was like a cartoon like talk show type of thing, and they show like they make up like video clips and news clips. It was weird shit that they would talk about, but
Yeah.
My version of that is called Beavis and Butthead.
yeah, they did that too, huh?
Old school.
All right, man. I'm high as fuck.
Yeah, it's late.
I'm gonna go call it a night and chill out. Get ready to do the same thing tomorrow.
Yep,
This is some historic shit, bro.
absolutely.
But you know what though? This is like I keep saying, this is an opportunity. Everybody's home. You can end up actually setting up these little meetings with other people and just build on something, see some project, because this is not going to last forever. In summertime, you're gonna need a lot of stuff to do. Everybody's gonna be outside. And so from what everything says that as far as like the virus doesn't really survive too well in heat, so people are gonna be wilding out this summer.
Yeah.
It's all about the
like
currency,
saying-
bro. I don't give a fuck about the heat.
Dude, trying to keep the class cool.
When they get that oil supply back up, that's when the shit ends.
No, but a lot of people, you know what I mean? They're actually like home with like their families and shit, which is good. Usually they're not, live such a fast-paced life sometimes. Well, some people,
A
How
lot of
many-
people. Too
How many
much work.
divorces did the coronavirus cause?
Oh man.
Oh shit. It's like, yeah, I want you to get out. It was like, I can't.
I'm so sick of you.
With
Caused a lot of fucking divorces.
Oh man.
a lot of new babies coming up too.
Yeah.
Yo, a lot of kids got slapped this week.
A lot of
Because daddy's home and the kids are home. All at the
Oh
same time.
man.
Mommy's turning into a drunk. This is ruining our country.
You know what? It's all right. Everybody needed the forced vacation with no pay.
With no pay.
That's it. You're gonna get paid like 5 weeks from now.
Yo, I'm forced to be a Democrat now. I'm stuck at home getting checks from the government complaining.
Completely. Oh
Everybody
man.
check. That's this Democrat.
I'm just fucking with you, Lou.
I'm unaffiliated. I don't give a shit. I think they're both. It's the same shit. People complain about this. This thing though, like both sides get equal amount of fucking welfare checks. Actually, even religions like that, they get. This is so much shit, and it's just the way it ends up putting it out on like the Democrats. So that farmers, right? Farmers in Middle America, super fucking red. Like as far as Republican side, get subsidized like crazy. And the government actually, it's weird, it's crazy. Within farms, they actually pay you and to make sure that the family can stay together within a farm, right? But if you move to the city, if you guys are together, you have a kid, but you're not married, the government won't give you a check unless that person that you're not like that moves out. The difference is like that, but everybody, that's the narrative has changed depending on where you live at, but everybody gets a fucking check. That's why I'm unaffiliated.
I'm unaffiliated because I think they're all assholes.
Yeah. I
I'm
hear
talking
that.
about the people that wear the fucking suits. I'm not talking about the people that we live with.
If I was forced to be one, I would be a Republican. I'd be a Republican again.
Unfortunately, I can't pick one because it's all hypocrisy. Because you say you want to be something, but then they make you go against what you actually want to do.
Not taking it seriously, but
Right.
no,
That's what I mean.
Republican because, to be honest with you, it's to be less people that look like me. Makes me stick out.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Jay-Z's a Republican.
I don't believe in having my hand held, so I guess that makes me more of a Republican. I don't want to depend on someone giving me my life, which is basically what
It's not about that. It's about networking and connections. That's what that is. Jay-Z became a Republican, and he's a billionaire.
I'm not talking about Jay-Z. I said I don't want to be dependent on someone giving me my check and telling me what I can do. That's basically what a liberal Democrat is.
It's all the same, though.
Well, that's why I don't pick anything. I think it's all bullshit. But they make you play the game.
All right, can you leave us off on a happy note, though?
Like what?
I don't know.
I mean, it's hard, man. I'm not happy.
Or can you tell me guys something a little bit more depressing?
Yeah, I'll tell you something that's not depressing. This coronavirus is going to go away once they get that oil stockpile back up. So don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
And it's nice. I'm glad I've said this because now I'm trapped in the analogs of time and we can go back and look at this. And I've said it before it's happened. I called that shit.
Call you Nostradamus.
You know, sometimes I worry about you there, East. You be calling some shit way too early before that, shit actually comes out. And I'm like,
but it happens, doesn't it? Several times.
Yes, it does. But that's what I'm saying. Like the Miss Cleo of this shit.
Miss Cleo.
You know why? Because I'll tell you why, man. It's easy. They play the same game. And if you know the game they play, you just got to reverse engineer it and it starts to come together. It clicks. And I mean, if you've seen it once, you've seen it 100 times.
Yeah, it's always the same. Right?
So when you see the game playing, you go, oh, I've seen this game before. And I just start waiting for the other pieces to drop. And they always do. And then I go, well, I mean, I don't know. Is that a coincidence that I could predict that? No. I'm a fucking retard. What do I know? I just know the game. That's all. Follow the money. Always follow the money.
Follow the money.
This is about money. All of these CEOs dropped out because they knew this fallout was coming. They ran the drill before they ran the actual live event because they knew this was coming. That drill captured so much B-roll.
Well, what about CEOs that standing next to the president?
What about them?
Every week, every day, he has some new CEO standing up there talking about giving their fucking opinion about what they think about the damn coronavirus.
And then what happens within a week later? They're producing ventilators or they're making
medical
masks.
field or medical procedures or pandemics.
Huh?
I don't know. I'm high.
Just keep watching those CEOs because look what's happening to the Walmart.
Me that was not positive. You said that to give me something positive. I'll give you something positive. That was not.
Yeah, I'm telling you, don't worry about the virus.
All right. Eternal, you got something positive for him for East Coast?
Yeah, I got something positive. What, to like wrap this up?
Yeah, like help him out, yo. He can't just like give me something positive, like
get something positive. So hopefully this event you got coming up only gets pushed back a couple weeks at most. We get to look forward to some gathering, get something going on. Hopefully in the near future, sooner than later.
You know what? I bet you never would have imagined this. Your event is dependent on OPEC. That's crazy.
Yo, they're lucky that I was ready. I was gonna have it at the They had at the 250. I ended up having a venue that ended up maxing out at 200. So I was below the thing. I was gonna like it was gonna be easy peasy shit, but they lowered it to 50. I was like, well, I'm not gonna fucking throw just 50. That's just stupid.
Yeah, no, like I said,
5 people, 5.
we have something to look forward to after this. Hopefully calms down.
Yeah.
You know what? A good indicator is watch the professional sports leagues. If you start seeing those guys cancel seasons, you know the shit's gonna be in their time frame.
Yeah, but they never done that before.
Exactly.
The
That's my
first,
point.
so you can't say that you can't use that as an indicator if this is the first time.
Those guys are multi-billion-dollar industries. If they shut down, they have insight. They know. I'm just saying.
No, you're right. You're right. It was a good indicator, yeah, to read them. Yeah, sure. For sure. The whole weird thing about the toilet paper, though, still it's too weird to me. I don't
It
get that.
is weird. No, that's real. That's weird, man. Why? That's never happened before. We've had crises before. And why the toilet paper?
They were literally, you go to the store and it'd be like one per customer when they had it, when they restocked.
And even no, but during snowstorm, right? People get the same fucking 3 items:
Milk,
eggs,
bread.
and bread. Why is everybody fascinated with French toast?
No, but what's the fascination with toilet paper?
That one I don't get understand at all.
Keep your bunghole clean.
Crazy.
I think it's a distraction. I'm just being honest.
Toilet paper distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
No. I think humans came up with that one all by themselves.
True. Could be. But
Yeah,
the
it's
more
too
balls
weird.
you have, the
It's-
more
there's
balls you
no
have in the
hope
air
for
while
it.
you're
It's so
juggling,
weird.
the less you're likely to pick up on details like the fucking oil. You're worried about toilet paper when they're worried about shale production.
Who was worried about this shit, man? Who isn't worried about this shit?
Dude, the Federal Reserve puts $1 trillion a day into the stock market. That shit is fake. That's why I said the other day, gold.
Yo,
and
you guys
silver,
got LLCs? Listen, anybody with LLCs, you can get some money.
For what?
Interest-free type shit. Get loans.
Oh, like what you're
wants-
saying, yeah.
who wants loans? I mean, come on.
Yeah, but I had seen something too today that like banks would like put in like some kind of restriction on home equity
Yep,
loans.
I saw that shit too.
No, I'm not talking about home equity. I'm talking about like
No, the small
Yeah,
business.
like getting
the kind of dealing with the business, end up putting some upgrades, just like the corporations are doing right now. They're taking that money and they're upgrading their companies. They're upgrading their facilities. I want to do the same thing. Why can't I, as a small business owner, do the same thing as they are? If they're handing out money like that, oh shit, I deserve some of that too.
Did you watch the press conference today? You can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm doing.
So why are you upset?
No, I'm just saying that.
Hey man, don't put out someone else's candle to make yours shine brighter. Don't worry about big business. We need big business. You got to get that through your head, bro. We need big business. So they're gonna always be stimulated. It's gonna always happen.
Well,
They're the biggest employers in the country.
so what? That doesn't mean what? Does that mean that now you just don't have to pay fucking taxes because of that? That doesn't
No,
make
but
any fucking sense.
no, but you can't let a company like Pepsi die. They employ hundreds of thousands of people.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. It's a private company. The government doesn't. And see, and this is why I can end up being the government has no actual responsibility to like that. It just the one industry side that they really needed to keep out of was the financial one, and not bail them out and let them like just buck all. So what? Just gotta let it be. And since they ended up putting their nose into it and actually helping to consolidate them more, only made the system even more vulnerable to a bigger fall versus having them fail and having them to split up to be smaller like they actually have to like balance themselves out. They made it even more dangerous now.
When you have all this unemployment come in on deck, and you know that the reason behind what do you
Long game. I'm not talking about monthly rent. I'm talking about long game because now we're even more danger now because they ended up consolidating all these different banks into a handful.
Yeah, there's 7 banks.
Everybody's fucked.
I don't know what you're talking about.
If there's something ends up happening, right? Because the government, they feel that everybody thinks that the government is all powerful. They are not. If the government and the system and the stock market decides to crash tomorrow, there is not anything that any government can do except freeze it at the point. But at that point, it triggers an automatic crowd panic, and people start pulling money out of their bank accounts and starting to stockpile stuff and start going out, start spending money, and it has this huge triggering effect, wave effect of the whole economy. Now, if they would have ended up letting it kind of like go through its normal cycle, and normal cycle like that, rather than stepping in, so all these jobs weren't lost, that now they wouldn't have creative. Now we have an even more fragile system. And that if any of those financial issues were down, we're all fucked. By them helping it made it work long
If
term.
any of those financial institutions shut down, you said?
What?
As you said, if any of those financial institutions shut down, we're all fucked.
They're all interconnected.
Yeah.
They went from like, I don't know, 30 or something like that to like 6.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So that they made it more successful. They try, oh, we try to help everybody, but no, and this ended up being, trying to do the right thing during a panic and everybody freaking out because they're losing their jobs and they don't have money to buy like that. What the government could have did is we would end up actually providing food and whatever news like that to soup kitchens, to local food pantries that every town and city has one, right? To make sure that everybody is fed and end up dealing things with other way versus giving just the money to the corporations, which what are they going to do, right? They're going to take that money and fix their company, not actually pass it down as so-called to try to say or do.
Are you sure about that? Or are you just saying
What?
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
So you've looked into the bill and what the restrictions are and all of that and what the money's going for and what... No, you haven't, or you have? I'm just asking.
What I'm trying to say to you is that regardless of what it says, they're going to figure out some way, somehow to either not give it back, get away from most of it, or something like that, or, whatever.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of lawyers to really dig through that. We don't. We can end up applying for your small little chunk, or they can apply for the big chunk. Because they already get a whole bunch of taxes written off because they're...
Yeah, they'll figure it out to get taxpayers to pay more or something. I don't know.
They're still a company, and they should pay taxes like everybody else. That's it. I'm never going to see that otherwise. I don't give a fuck how many people they employ. They work and they're paying taxes. They're paying taxes for you. Like you said, they're paying your taxes. You're not paying your taxes. That's how I see it.
But we're talking about a stimulus package that was just passed for a situation. We're not talking about taxes.
It's already. They didn't learn. They just redid what. Like all I'm pointing to, right, is what we ended up learning from that last stimulus package, right? That ended up going towards the banks and how we fucked up. We didn't put stipulations on it. This time around, we ended up putting stipulations, but we asked the company, or excuse me, Trump, a very corporate, very capitalist type of individual, who did he ask to ask companies, right? Do you think that he was more corporate friendly or not? Or he see next to him or those talking. not grandma or the little guy or plumber Joe or whatever the fuck. CEO of Nabisco. Oh, Bob, like, dude, what the fuck do you have to do with the coronavirus at all? You're a businessman. Mind your business.
Man.
Do you know all of the senators and representatives got a raise,
Uh,
including your Democrats? So
of course. That's what I'm saying. This is a big money grab. It's a money grab. So regardless, that's what I'm saying. Regardless of whatever the bill says, this is a money grab. If you can grab some money, grab some money. That's what I'm saying. But actually, it actually does say, part of it does say that it is not to include the cannabis industry or the hemp industry when it comes to adding the stimulus package. Luckily, I'm a branding and marketing agency, so I fit into that slice.
In that category, yeah.
You're a production, you're a distribution company. You know, it's just you start figuring out how like that. Once you got your LLC, you end up signing it. You end up saying what you are, and that's it. Keep it moving.
yeah, I'm not going for no loans though.
I need some new equipment. At 0 interest loan, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I don't need anything. I'm not gonna try to benefit off of a disaster.
What? This is America. Doing 9/11, that dude that was selling flags, man, he made a lot of money.
He made a lot of money. Sell the friggin' utensils, right? Or the tools to the trade.
So it's
Or the disaster, whatever you want to call it.
like people are buying, the stocks are buying cheap, and then within a day or two, already going up and making money. Like it's gonna be like it's right now. There's like I know it's a disaster, right?
You know
But
what's
it's
hilarious?
exactly when you're supposed to act and acquire things.
Isn't it funny that Nancy Pelosi goes and invests a bunch of money in Amazon and she ends up making $6 million?
Everybody is investing. If you're not investing, there's something wrong with you. Everybody's investing. Everybody.
Yeah, a lot of these people who already have that kind of capital who can.
I'm just saying. Right before this happened, she goes and dumps all of her stocks and buys all in Amazon stocks.
No doubt.
She dumps her hotel and entertainment stocks.
It was like a whole bunch of senators, right? That they said.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Getting questions for some.
On both sides, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're not just saying Nancy Pelosi.
So
they're all dirty.
They're all dirty. All of them. All of them. 100%. They know it, but if you know some inside information,
but I only keep bringing up they're both dirty because you always bring up the president, which I just think it's like, who cares? They're all fucking dirty. You don't have to.
Oh no, it's just that he's blatant about it.
But they all are, dude.
No. Obama was smooth about it.
So that
Trump
makes him better.
That
makes him more of a snake, if you ask me.
I'd rather him be a gentleman than
be a snake.
I'd rather look. We're vets, so sometimes there's dirty shit that has to happen back a house, right? It's just how it is. You don't tell it to everybody because that's not how this shit fucking works. You want to present a good, clean uniform. Not that you ended up slicing somebody's throat in the back. Fucking.
That's what you have to do. Everything?
Huh?
I mean, I think it's comical, entertaining.
It is what it is. It's still pretty blatant.
Yeah, I just don't see it any better or worse than being a snake. That's all.
It's better presentable. It's more palatable.
But to the point of hatred, I mean,
and also too, he is just an overall classier person.
On the surface, like you said, that's surface etiquette. But at the end of the day, what does it matter if the actual results are garbage?
To say Trump is a classy dude?
Come on. I did not say that. Are you listening? Did I say that?
Yeah.
I said.
You did not say that. You did not say that.
All right, because I definitely didn't say that. Jesus Christ.
Trump is a classy dude. He's a very stable genius.
I didn't say
me
that
money.
either.
Give me money.
Welcome to America.
Give me. That's how he works. You show loyalty. Give me money. That's it. And he'll be like, boom, here you go.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a crazy topic.
All right, but yeah, that sounds pretty positive. I can't wait to be in. How about this positive? I can't wait for the summertime to go to a water park, and then when I have water in my mouth, I'm gonna pause for 1 second and think about somebody else in another part of the world.
And it's probably
has
gonna be
water.
the president. I'm just fucking with you.
It's probably gonna be Trump if fucking Biden doesn't get out of the fucking way.
Oh, man.
If Biden doesn't get out of the way, it will be Trump. It needs to be Sanders. It really does. But whatever.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
We'll see, man.
All right, guys.
It has been fun.
Yeah.
A quarantine session.
These are fun. I like these, man. I've had a lot of good feedback on these video sessions.
We'll see how much everybody's faces are cut off with this. Because I don't know how I'm chopping it up.
You're sitting there staring at us here. Fucking fruitcake anyway. Just listen.
All right. And we love you fans for that. Thank you for listening. This has been another Joint Committee session.
Yeah.
And fruit or not, you know, we love you.
We do.
Uh,
Peace, fellas.
End of session. The Joint Committee thanks you for listening.